Hi everybody, my name is Rupa, working as assistant professor in Chevron Engineering College. I am dealing the subject electrical machines 2 for secondary triple students, and today's topic is problems on speed control of induction motor, lecture 12. So until now we have done various speed controls. Now we will see the problems, different problems in speed control of induction motors. First problem, 250 Hz three-phase induction motors having 6 and 4 poles respectively are cumulatively cascade. The 6-pole motor being connected to the main supply. Determine the frequencies of the rotor currents and the slips referred to each stator field if the set has a slip of 2%. So we have a cascade connection here. So two motor sets will be taken, A and B. So the frequency of 2 is 50 Hz. The set frequency is 50 Hz and it is a three-phase supply. One motor is having 6 poles and other motor is having 4 poles. So these are cumulatively cascade, and the 6-pole motor, the 6 poles which is having the motor, that motor is connected to the main supply. So determine the frequencies of the rotor currents. We have to find out the frequencies of the rotor currents, and slips we have to find. Refer to each stator field if the set has a slip of 2%. So the set is having 2% slip. Okay, so synchronous speed of set is, first we have to find out the synchronous speed of the set, NSC, that is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into F by 120 into F means 50 Hz. The set has frequency, and by P is we are having 6 poles and 4 poles. So the total set poles are 6 plus 4, 10. So 120 F by P, 120 into 50 by 10, that is 600 RPM. So the set is having NSC 600 RPM. Next, actual rotor speed. What is the N value? You have to find out. So from NSC and given slip 2%, we have to find out N. N is equal to 1 minus S into NSC. You know that. So 1 minus S into 1 minus 0.02 into NSC is 600. So 588 RPM. And synchronous speed of the stator field of a 6-pole motor. First motor we have to calculate the speed, and second motor you have to calculate the speed. First motor frequency, second motor frequency, first motor slip, second motor slip. Okay, so speed, slip and frequency you have to calculate. So first motor slip is formula NSA minus N by NSA, right? NSA, where NSA is the synchronous speed of the motor A. Okay, so NSA is equal to 120 F by P, 120 into F50 by P. First motor is having 6 poles, so 6,000 RPM. Okay, next, that referred slip. SA is equal to NSA minus N by NSA. NSA is 1000 RPM minus N. What is N? 588. 588 minus 1000. That is 0.412, 41.2%. Next, frequency of that motor A. F dash is equal to SA slip into corresponding frequency. Okay, so SA is 0.412 into normal F is 50. So 20.6 Hz. Right? Next, for 4-pole machine, we have to find out all these three parameters. First, N dash. N dash, the speed is denoted by N dash for B motor. Okay, N dash is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into F. Here, when we are getting to the second motor, the frequency will be changed. Okay, so the changed frequency, the frequency of motor A will be getting to B, right? So we have to use the frequency of motor A. So the frequency of motor A is 20.6 Hz. That is equal to 120 into 20.6 by how many poles the motor, second motor is having 4. So divided by 4. That is equal to 618 RPM. Okay, and second slip you have to find out. Slip SB is equal to N dash minus N by N dash. N dash is 618 RPM and N is 588 RPM. Okay, so 618 minus 588 divided by 618, you will get total a slip of 0.04 for B motor. And at the same time, you have to find out the frequency. So first, actually the frequency is denoted by F double dash. F double dash is equal to SB into F dash. Okay. So SB is the slip of second motor. SB is equal to 0.0485 into frequency. Frequency is same we have to use because first A frequency will be getting to B. So same frequency you can use. So 0.0485 slip into frequency 20.6. So what is the frequency? 1 Hz approximately. Okay, so there is a other proof of checking the frequency that we have got the correct frequency or not. That is F double dash is equal to, you know that S into F. Okay, so slip, actually the set slip, at last we are getting what is the frequency means, the supply frequency we are to the supply frequency we are getting. Okay, so F double dash is equal to S into F, that is equal to 0.02. S is given set supply frequency, S is 0.02 into 50. Okay, that is the set frequency. Set frequency into set slip. That becomes F double dash, that is equal to 1 Hz. Okay, proved. We got here also 1 Hz. So our frequency is correct. Okay, so this is the first problem. Second one, a 4-pole induction motor and a 6-pole induction motor are connected in cumulative cascade. Same. The frequency in the secondary circuit of the 6-pole is observed to be 1 Hz. Okay, so secondary circuit of 6-pole. 6-pole means B. Okay, so one motor frequency is given. Determine the slip in each machine. S we have to calculate, and combine the speed of the set. What is the combined speed of motor A and B? Both in which speed they are rotating? Because both A and B motors will be rotating at only one speed. That's why we are taking on the same shaft. So take supply frequency as 50 Hz. So from 3-phase supply, we are getting 50 Hz supply frequency to motor A, F. So we have to find F dash. That F dash is given to motor B, and next to the output F double dash. Okay, so see, first we have to calculate the set synchronous speed, NSC. Okay, so NSC is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into F is, the set is having 50 Hz of supply frequency by poles. Poles is 4 plus 6, because here also 4-pole induction motor and 6-pole induction motor are taken. So 4 plus 6, that is equal to 600 RPM. Next, slip is equal to, we can write directly F double dash by F. So F double dash is given as the secondary circuit. F double dash is secondary one frequency. So the frequency in the secondary circuit of a 6-pole is 1 Hz, and normal frequency is 50 Hz. So 1 by 50, that is 0.02. Okay, next, actual speed of the set, total actual speed of the set, that is equal to N. N is equal to 1 minus S into NSC, or we can write like this also. S is equal to, you know that NSC minus N by NSC. From here we have to calculate N. N is 588, because NSC is 600 RPM, slip is 0.02. So S is equal to NSC minus N by NSC. So from here you are getting N is equal to 588 RPM. Next, NSA, speed of first motor. 120 F by P. First motor is having 4 poles and second motor is having 6 poles. So 120 F by P. 120 into F is 50 by P. Poles 4. 1500 RPM. Okay. So next. SA slip of first motor. SA is equal to NSA minus N by NSA. NSA minus N by NSA. So NSA is 1500 by N. First calculating the slip of first motor, we have to consider the NSA, synchronous speed of first motor. So NSA. So 1500 minus N, normal N by NSA. That means 0.608. That is the slip of first motor. Next, frequency of first motor, F dash. This is the F dash. So F dash is equal to SA into F. SA is 0.608 into F, 30.4 Hz. So this F dash will be given to motor B. So while calculating the motor B calculations, the same F dash is used. So now we will calculate the required parameters for the motor B. Okay, so first speed N dash. N dash is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into F is the same frequency what I have said, the A frequency will be getting to B. So we have to use the A frequency. A frequency F dash is 30.4 Hz. So 120 into F by P. 120 into 30.4 by P. Second motor is having 6 poles. Okay, so by 608 RPM. From this, we have to calculate the slip. N dash minus N by N dash. That is equal to N dash is 308. Sorry, 608. 608 minus normal N is 588. 608 minus 588 by 608. That is equal to 0.033. Next frequency you have to find F double dash. Okay, so F double dash same as like this only. S into SB into F dash. Okay, so here they have not asked, I think. F double dash is equal to SB 0.03 into 0.03 into frequency F dash. So frequency 0.03 into 30.4. Okay, so F double dash, sorry, it is already given one. If you want to find out because you will know that SB and F dash are correct or not. You can check. Third problem. The stator of a 6-pole is joined to a 50 Hz supply and the machine is mechanically coupled and joined in cascade with 4-pole motor. Neglecting all losses, determine the speed and output of the 4-pole motor when the total load on the combination is 74.6 kilowatts. Same problem, but we have to calculate the torque here. Okay, so and they gave the clue that we have to neglect all the losses. So first we have to, same again here also a 6-pole and 4-pole. First machine A is 6-pole, second machine is 4-pole. First machine frequency is 50, supply frequency is 50 Hz. Okay, and the speed output is given, output determine the speed and output of 4-pole machine when the load on the combination. The combination has a power of 74.6 kilowatts. So I am neglecting all the losses and the actual speed of the rotor is assumed to be synchronous speed of the cell, right? So when I assumed that actual speed of the rotor will be equal to the synchronous speed of the set, then NSC is equal to first set speed we have to calculate. NSC is equal to 120 F by P. 120 into F is 50 by P. P is 6 plus 4, 10. So as said earlier, the mechanical outputs are in the ratios of number of poles of motors, right? So here I can write output of 4-pole machine. So they have asked the output of 4-pole machine. That is equal to 7.4 into P by PA plus PB, right? PB by PA plus PB. So what corresponding respective watt motor you are finding, you have to write on the numerator. So 74.6 by 4, second motor you are seeking. So 4 by 10, that is 29. Output of 4-pole motor is 29.84 kilowatts. So the speed given, the speed find out is 600 rpm, and the output of the 4-pole motor is 29.84 kilowatts. Okay, so if they ask for the output of 6-pole motor, then and they will give the combination output. Okay, so 6-pole motor means here in the place of 4 you have to write just 6. 74.6 into 6 by 10 you have to write. Now at that time you will get the output of 6-pole motor. Okay, next problem. A cascade set consists of two motors A and B with 4 poles. Again here also given 4 poles and 6 poles respectively. The motor A is connected to 50 Hz supply. Find the first one, the speed, and second one, the electrical power transfer to motor B when the input to the motor A is 25 kilowatts. Okay, so see here I already discussed, or I already said that before. If whatever the motor is asked, those poles you have to use by using the combination output. Okay, so same before problem only, but the values are changed. So first we have to find out the speed of the set. So the speed of the set, synchronous speed of the set is NSC is equal to 120 F by P, both poles. So 120 F by 6 plus 4, 10. That is equal to 600 RPM. Next, electrical output. So proportional to number of poles we can write. So actually output of motor A is 25 into number of poles, motor poles are A are 4. First they have given 4. Okay, so A and B 4 and 6 respectively. So 4 for first one and 6 for second, B1. Right? So for first one they have asked motor A 25 into 4 by total poles 10. That is 10 kilowatts. So these are very easy problems. Next problem. A certain 3-phase 6-pole 50 Hz induction motor fully loaded. It runs with a slip of 3%. Find the value of resistance necessary in the series per phase of the rotor to reduce the speed by 10%. Assume that the resistance of the rotor per phase is 0.2 ohm. So when we add the resistance, what is the reduced speed we have to calculate? So rheostat method, this is a adding of resistance. If you add the resistance, we can control the speed of the induction motor. So this one is the speed control by adding resistance method problem. Okay, so we know that torque is equal to KSR2 by R2 square plus SX2 square. That is equal to K into S into R2 by R2 square. That becomes R2 gets cancelled, K into S by R2, because we are neglecting SX2 as compared to R2. SX2 will be very small, so I can neglect. So here T1, if I put T1, you have to put S1. If I put T2, you have to put S2 plus R2 plus small resistance is added, they have said. Okay, so see here, T1 KS1 by R2, T2 KS2 by R2 plus R. Okay, so where here R2 is the external resistance per phase added to the rotor circuit. So we know that T1 is equal to T2. That means we can equate both the equations. So KS1 by R2 is equal to KS2 by R2 plus R. From that, I can write R2 plus R by R2 is equal to KK gets cancelled. You will get S2 by S1. Okay, keep this equation aside. From now and a synchronous speed you have to calculate 120 F by P. 120 into F is 50 Hz, P is 6 poles. So 1000 RPM is the synchronous speed. From that you have to calculate S1. So S1 already gave induction motor when fully loaded runs at slip of 3%. S1 is given as 0.03. Now we have to find out S2. Okay, so before finding out S2, we have to find out again N1 also. N1 is equal to Ns into 1 minus S. So you will get N1, that is 970 RPM. And N2 is when the slip changes is the speed will be also changing. So 970 minus how the slip changes, how the speed changes, 10% of synchronous speed. So 970 minus 10% of 970, that is 97, that is 873 RPM. N2 is 872 RPM. From this you will calculate S2. S2 is, see here, N2 minus N1 by N2, that is Ns minus N by Ns minus N2 by Ns, that is equal to 1000 minus 873 by S2. 2 we are calculating, so 2 speed, second speed you have to calculate, consider. So Ns minus N2 by Ns, that is equal to 1000 minus 873 by 1000, that is 0.127. So substitute all the known values in this equation. What happens? R2 plus R by R2 is equal to S2 by S1. R2 is known, it is 0.2. R you have to find out, and S2 you know, S1 you know. So totally by substituting in the equation you will get R is equal to 0.65 ohms. Okay, think last problem. Last problem in this unit. So same problem only. So this is the end of second unit. Now we will go for third unit. Third unit is single phase motors. Until now we have discussed about in first 2 units you have discussed about the 3-phase induction motors. So now you are dealing about the entire chapter is single phase motors, how the single phase motors will be working and how they will be starting and how they will be controlled. So what are the different types of tests we all see here. So first of all, we classify the motors. We are having different types of single phase motors. Okay, so these such motors which are designed to operate from a single phase supply, these are called as single phase motors. Okay, so these are manufactured in large number of types to perform a wide variety of useful services. Examples in homes, offices, factories, workshops, and in business establishments like that. For small applications, we are using this single phase motors. So these are very small motors, particularly in a fractional kilowatt sizes. Okay, so we know this small type of fractional kilowatt sizes better, because we will see them everywhere. Okay, but these are also having the vast applications in space vehicles, aircrafts, business machines, power tools, etc. also in nowadays, because these also get advanced and these are also made advanced design, and fractional kilowatts is same, continuing with fractional kilowatts, the design is more advanced. Okay, so single phase motors are classified depending upon their construction and the method of starting. So this second one what I have abbreviated is more important, because these single phase motors are not self-started. Okay, so only one phase it has, so it is difficult to start them. So single phase motors has a main disadvantage of not self-starting. We have to boost them to start self-start. So now we will see the types of single phase motors. What are the different types of single phase motors? First one is induction motor. So this in this induction motor, these comes split phase, capacitor, and shaded pole motors, etc. These all comes under induction motors. What are the types? Split phase, capacitor, and shaded pole motors. Next one, repulsive motors or repulsion motors. So sometimes these are also called as inductive series motors. And third one is AC series motor, and fourth one is unexcited synchronous motors. Okay, so now we will see about the single phase induction motor. Mainly you are having the portion single phase induction motor. So until now we have seen the principle of three phase induction motor, and not about this three phase induction motor is self starting, but single phase induction motors are not self starting. How we will see, and what are the procedures to start this? It is a big procedure. Now we will see all this. Okay, so it is the construction of the motor more or less is same as a polyphase induction motor, except 2 points. What are the 2 points you will see now? The first point is the stator is provided with a single phase winding. Okay, so as we are dealing with the single phase supply, there will be only single phase winding for the stator. When we are dealing with the three phase supply, we are having three phase supply to the stator, right? So as it is a single phase machine, we are putting the single phase winding in the stator. And second one is a centrifugal switch is used in some types of motors. Okay, so this switch is used to cut out the winding, which is used for the starting purposes. Okay, so we are saying that this is not a self-starting. Single phase induction motor is not a self-starting, right? So to make it a self-starting, we have to add another phase outside. By outside, from outside, we have to add another phase. So that means manually we have to add other phase. So this second phase is only used for starting purpose, right? So this starting purpose phase should be cut out when the normal running of synchronous machine. Okay, see, first this machine is not self-starting. So to make it self-starting, we have to add a second other supply, other phase. So this other phase is used for starting purpose. After the induction motor runs at normal speed, we can cut off this second phase. So for cutting off this second phase, we are using a centrifugal switch. So centrifugal switch can be used or cannot be used. I will say you afterwards in further classes. I will say you why it is used and why it is not used, what happens when it is used and what happens when it is not used. Okay, so centrifugal switches are sometimes used in some types of motors. In order to cut out the, if you don't want the second winding at the normal positions, you can cut out the second winding. So at that time you are using this centrifugal switch. Okay, and these are the two differences. And apart from the two differences, what are the major things it is having is it has distributed stator winding and a squirrel cage rotor. Okay, so when it is fed from a single supply, the stator winding will be producing the necessary flux. This flux will be this field, which is this alternating flux, which is produced by the single phase. It is alternating along one space axis only, because it is given from one supply. It will be rotating in one axis, one space axis only, and it is not synchronously revolving. Or as in the three-phase induction motor, we see that in the three-phase induction motor, the rotating magnetic field will be rotating along the stator in synchronous speed, right? But Remember this, the single phase winding, from the single phase winding we are getting a single phase flux, but this is not revolving. This is not revolving in synchronous speed. Whereas in two phase or three phase, this field will be revolving in synchronous speed. But in single phase, this speed is not a synchronous speed. So now an alternating or pulsating flux will be acting on the stationary squirrel cage rotor. So this cannot produce any rotation in the rotor. This single phase flux which is revolving in the stator without synchronous speed, this will cut the rotor. But it does not produce any EMF because there are no two speeds, only single speed is there. So for the producing of EMF, what we want? We want some relative speed between two speeds. So first two speeds must be existed and there must be any speed difference between the speeds. So here only one speed exists. No two speeds are existing. How can we produce the EMF? So in order to get the other speed, you have to add other phase and you have to produce other flux. So interaction of these two fluxes produces the main flux. So this main flux, when cuts the rotor, it produces the EMF. Okay, so that's why these single phase motors are called as not self-starting. So if you want to make it as start, you can do it by hands also. For small motors, if you observe in the shops, if you observe in the shops, you see that they will be or in the auto also, in the three-tire vehicle auto also, we see that sometimes the drivers and the shop owners are trying to start the induction motor by a rope, start the motors by a ropes. So if you give any initial start by your hands, in either direction, any direction you can pull the rope. So if you give the initial start by any hand, then immediately what happens, torque will be arising and the motor accelerates to its final speed. So second speed you are giving by your hands. Okay, so the relative between the both speed, not synchronous speed and your initial hand speed will be giving out the torque. So this torque arises and the motor accelerates to its final speed. Okay, so you have to apply, you have to give the initial start by hand with high torques, because low torques low torque cannot accelerate the motor. Okay, so this peculiar behavior of the motor, it is explained in two ways. First one is double field revolving theory and second one is cross field revolving theory. So you will see these two theories in the next classes.